Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're not just talking about marketing, we're building a machine. We're going to show you how a single, simple ad click gets transformed step by step into actual, real revenue. We're going to reveal the engine that powers modern business. All right, so here's our game plan. We'll start with the big picture, the core engine. Then, we'll follow a lead as it gets captured and sent through what I call the digital plumbing. We'll see exactly what happens inside the CRM, how you prove it all worked, and then, the big one, what this all means for you when you're building your own revenue machine. It seems so simple, doesn't it? Someone sees an ad, they click it, and they become a customer. Easy. But behind that one click is this massive, complex, and interconnected system of technology. So let's pull back the curtain and trace that journey all the way from click to cash. Yeah, the whole goal here is to get away from what people call random acts of marketing. Just launching campaigns and kind of hoping for the best. Nope. We're going to build a predictable, automated engine that reliably, consistently turns advertising dollars into revenue. This lays out the entire journey from start to finish. And what's so crucial to see here, what most people miss, is that the first three steps, planning, research, and creation, all of that happens before an ad ever sees the light of day. The real work starts with a solid strategy, long before you spend a single dollar on traffic. And before you even start building, you're faced with this huge, fundamental choice that honestly shapes everything that comes after. Do you go out and buy an all-in-one suite like HubSpot, where simplicity is king? Or do you build what's called a composable stack, where you piece together the absolute best tool for every single job? And here are the trade-offs, plain and simple. Those all-in-one suites, they're easy, sure, but the tools inside might not be the most powerful. Now, a traditional best-of-breed approach gives you incredible power, but you run a huge risk of creating this chaotic, disconnected Frankenstock. The real sweet spot for the most advanced teams is that last one, a governed, composable stack that's powerful, integrated, and totally ready for AI. All right, we've picked our architecture. Now it's time to actually put it to work. This brings us right to the drive and capture stages. This is where we run the ads and get that all-important lead information. Now, this is fascinating. This comes from an analysis of over $50 million in ad spend. You'd think for B2B companies, LinkedIn would be the obvious winner, right? But the data shows for SaaS companies, Meta is the undisputed champion. And you got to ask, why? Well, it all comes down to user intent. People on Meta are often in discovery mode, open to new ideas, while on LinkedIn, they're usually just focused on networking, not buying stuff. So someone clicks our winning Meta ad and they hit the landing page. The tool you use here really says a lot about your philosophy. Do you trust an AI like Unbounce to just automatically find the best page for you? Or do you want that super granular human control you get with Instapage, where you can create a perfect one-to-one message match between the ad and the page? Okay, success. The lead is captured. A person filled out the form. But here's the thing. That data is completely useless until it gets into your main system, your CRM. And this is where the crucial, and let's be honest, the most overlooked part comes in, the digital plumbing. This number, this is everything. Less than 5 minutes. I'm not kidding. Study after study shows that the odds of you converting a lead drop off an absolute cliff if you don't contact them within 5 minutes. In today's market, speed to lead is the game. And that means your plumbing has to be fast. Look, general tools like Zapier are great, but they often pull for new data every few minutes. For a hot lead, a few minutes is an eternity. This is exactly why you need marketing-specific connectors, or those native integrations. They give you the real-time, instant sync you absolutely must have to hit that 5-minute window. So the lead has made it safely into the CRM, but it's still just raw data. Now, a critical, automated process kicks off. We call it the in-CRM waterfall, and its whole job is to get that lead ready for the sales team. This is really the engine room of the whole process. First, the system matches the new lead to a company that's already in your system to avoid duplicates. Then it enriches it with more data. After that, it scores the lead to see how good a fit they are. And finally, boom, it automatically routes that hot, qualified lead to exactly the right salesperson. So a lead comes in and it looks just like this, just a name and an email. It's not much for a salesperson to work with, right? But after that enrichment step, using tools like a ZoomInfo or Clearbit, it's totally transformed. Now the sales rep knows their title, their company, the company's revenue, and a whole lot more. This is an actionable lead. The lead's been routed, the salesperson does their magic, and the deal closes. We're not done, though. The final critical phase is closing the loop, connecting that final sale all the way back to the first ad click to prove marketing's real impact. And there is a massive technical shift happening here that you have to know about. For years, we all relied on pixels, those little bits of code in the user's browser. But with ad blockers and all the new privacy rules, pixels are basically broken. They're unreliable. The modern, mandatory solution is server-side tracking, like Meta's Conversions API. It's a direct server-to-server connection that is unblockable and 100% reliable. So, we've gone through this entire journey. What are the key takeaways? What should you be doing right now, today? Well, this entire system points to 4 clear mandates for every single modern marketer. First, and you know what, this might be the most important one. You must prioritize your plumbing. A campaign's success isn't determined by its clever creative. It's determined by its data integration and its speed to lead. A 5-minute delay caused by slow plumbing will absolutely kill your ROI, no matter how great your ad is. The other 3 mandates flow right from this journey. Second, build that automated in-CRM waterfall to process your leads efficiently. Third, you have to shift to server-side tracking. It is no longer optional. And finally, you have to invest in a true B2B attribution platform, a system that proves your value to the business. So ultimately, it all comes down to this one question. You need to take a hard look at your own technology, your own processes. Have you built a finely tuned, predictable revenue engine? Or are you still just operating with a disconnected collection of tools, just performing random acts of marketing? Thank you for joining this deep dive. I know, the process is complex, but now you have the blueprint. You have exactly what you need to go out and build a true lead-to-revenue engine.